Hello, good evening. You're watching the latest updates from Egypt here on Qnews. Let's get more on those headlines. President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi has congratulated Ursula von der Leyen on her re-election as President of the European Commission. In a message shared on his social media accounts, President Sisi expressed his best wishes for her success and his anticipation of strengthening the comprehensive strategic partnership between Egypt and the EU to foster progress and ensure lasting regional stability. Also, President El-Sisi has met with Congo's Special Presidential Advisor for Internal Security alongside General Intelligence Chief Hassan Rashad. During the meeting, the Congolese advisor delivered a letter from President Felix Tshisekedi, reaffirming Congo's commitment to strengthening bilateral relations with Egypt. President El-Sisi emphasized Egypt's focus on advancing development projects in Africa, particularly in the Nile Basin countries, and called for increased Egyptian business engagement in the Democratic Republic of Congo. President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi has met with the BP CEO Murray Auchincloss, alongside Petroleum Minister Karim Badawi and BP's regional president Neda Zaki. El-Sisi praised BP's contributions to Egypt's energy sector, particularly in gas and oil field development. He welcomed increased investment in the sector and reiterated the government's commitment to supporting global companies while encouraging private sector participation in this critical field. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdel Ati has inaugurated the Cairo ministerial meeting to enhance humanitarian response in Gaza, hosted under the auspices of President El-Sisi. The Egyptian Foreign Minister condemned Israel's ongoing aggression in Gaza, which has caused immense death, destruction and displacement while violating international law. Abdel Ati called for an immediate ceasefire, unhindered humanitarian aid and adherence to United Nations resolutions. The conference aims to secure international commitments for sustained aid, immediate relief and long-term recovery for Gaza, emphasizing the need for solidarity and respect for Palestinian rights. United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed has stated that what is happening in Palestine is affecting the entire region, with Gaza's conditions worsening daily due to the ongoing aggression and the blockade, impacting over 2 million Palestinians. In a joint press conference with Egypt's foreign minister, he condemned Israel's military actions, violations of international law and targeting of civilians. Abdel Ati highlighted the worsening humanitarian situation, including the spread of diseases, medical shortages and Israel's obstruction of essential aid to those in need. Acting Executive Director of the Egyptian Red Crescent, Dr. Amal Imam, has stressed the urgent need to protect Palestinians in Gaza and address the unprecedented humanitarian crisis. Speaking at the Cairo Ministerial Conference, Amal highlighted efforts to support Gaza's residents and injured individuals receiving care in Egypt in coordination with the Palestinian Red Crescent. She emphasized the critical role of 50,000 volunteers working to deliver essential supplies to Gaza. The conference aims to secure sustainable aid and international commitments for Gaza's recovery. Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Mustafa has condemned Israel's systematic use of starvation as a weapon. Speaking at the Cairo ministerial meeting on Gaza's humanitarian crisis, Mustafa labeled the ongoing genocide in Gaza a war crime, requiring urgent international intervention. Mustafa outlined plans for Gaza's recovery and bolstering Palestine's economy post-conflict, emphasizing national unity. Mustafa also thanked Egypt for its unwavering support for Palestine and efforts to secure a ceasefire and humanitarian aid to Gaza. Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan has expressed his country's appreciation for Egypt's efforts to strengthen regional security amid the ongoing Israeli aggression and systematic targeting of civilians in Gaza. He emphasized that Palestinians in the besieged enclave are facing forced displacement and deliberate destruction in clear violation of international humanitarian law. Speaking at the International Conference to Support Gaza, held in Cairo and broadcast by Cairo News, Prince Faisal warned of the grave risks posed by the ongoing escalation and the potential for a broader regional conflict that could spiral into uncontrollable war. Speaking at the Cairo Ministerial Conference, the Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani has called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, citing the recent ceasefire in Lebanon as a reason for urging action. Tajani emphasized the need for urgent collaboration to expedite humanitarian aid to Gaza. He also praised Egypt's efforts to facilitate aid delivery and expressed Italy's readiness to assist in Gaza's reconstruction, particularly through Italian companies. Tajani reiterated Italy's commitment to supporting the humanitarian response and ensuring that aid reaches Gaza efficiently. Sweden's ambassador to Cairo, Hakan Emsgaard, has praised Egypt's initiative in hosting the ministerial conference to enhance humanitarian response in Gaza, calling it a vital step in addressing the humanitarian crisis. Speaking at the conference, Emsgaard emphasized Egypt's crucial role in mediating ceasefires and coordinating international aid in collaboration with regional and global partners. He also highlighted Sweden's cooperation with Egypt through the EU in efforts to rebuild Gaza. Now, for more analysis of this ministerial meeting, we are going to speak to the editor-in-chief of Egypt's El-Sharooq newspaper, Ahmed El-Din Hussein. Welcome to Q News. Thank you for being there with me. Now, how significant is Cairo's ministerial meeting in addressing the humanitarian crisis in Gaza? Hello, I think we just had a problem there on the line, Mr. Hussein. How significant is Cairo's ministerial meeting in addressing the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, and what outcomes could we expect?
Peace be upon you all. Naturally, this conference is very important in a time the Israeli crime is increased, a real genocide. Egypt is taking the steps properly to end these massacres. More than 300 state and association and a group to search in responding the humanitarian demands of Gaza. The speeches were very strong and fruitful, and we've heard the Mr. Foreign Minister that we feel through these speeches what's happening of crimes in Gaza. And Mr. Foreign Minister has declared that Egypt is prepared of entering the shipment as an assistance according to circumstances. And while Israel is hindering the entry of the shipment and doing it, being reluctant, and I think the conference today is sending more messages of warning internationally that Israel is practicing the genocide not only through the demolition houses and the killing the humans, but the hunger policy. And we've heard this phrase repeatedly being said from the speeches, from the speakers actually before the conference.
Now, what were the key messages that were given by the Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdel Ati?
Messages conveyed through the speech of Mr. Foreign Minister that has very meaningful words that monitored the impact of the Israeli aggression since past October till today. He talked about those being displaced, the increased more than 1 million and 40,000 being killed and missing, and using or weaponize hunger. Talked repeatedly and demanded to end this massacre and crisis, and called upon the international community not to stay still before this massacre, and the full pursuit of the Palestinian people and the main preparation of Egypt to send as much as possible of the aid as much as possible and as much as possible, while Israel should stop from putting obstacles before these achievements. And of course, the final solution or the demand is just to put an end to the war in order to end this suffering.
Well, thank you very much, Ahmed Eldin Hussein, the editor-in-chief of Egypt's Al-Shuruq newspaper. Thank you very much for joining us here on Q News. Now, Eric Oxlin, the director of the ILO office in Cairo, has praised Egypt's commitment to social justice and the promotion of decent work. Speaking at a press conference on Egypt's joining the Global Coalition for Social Justice, Oxlin highlighted Egypt's progress under President El-Sisi's leadership. He emphasized that Egypt's inclusion in the coalition reflects its dedication to advancing social justice, aligning with the coalition's vision of a future where all benefit from economic and social progress. The event was attended by the Minister of Labour, Mohamed Gobran. Egypt's Minister of Health and Population has announced that the country is the first in the world to attain golden tier status for its efforts to eliminate hepatitis C. This achievement, part of Egypt's broader healthcare success, marks a significant milestone in the goal of eradicating the disease by 2030. The ministry noted that this transformation occurred less than a decade after Egypt had one of the highest global infection rates. And that's almost all we have time for with our Egypt Bulletin, but here's what we've been covering. President El-Sisi congratulates Ursula von der Leyen and highlights Egypt-EU partnership. Egypt's foreign minister inaugurates Cairo ministerial meeting to enhance Gaza's humanitarian response. And the International Labour Organization praises Egypt's commitment to social justice as it joins Global Coalition. Well, that's all for now, but remember to stay updated by following Q News for the latest developments. Thanks for watching.